Welcome back. We live in a society where marriage is seen as a milestone, an achievement in one's life, especially if you're female. And it's ingrained in us to be submissive and be all about our husbands. Women's lives change dramatically after marriage because the expectation of creating a domestic environment rests on the shoulders of the women, regardless of their commitments outside the home. Women are always expected to put family first before their own needs and aren't expected to think for themselves sometimes or have dreams and aspirations of their own. Should women sacrifice their dreams and aspirations for marriages? That's what we're discussing today on Your View. You can call us on 070-8066-8014 or you can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. The reason we're talking about, going back what Nima said, the society expects us to make sacrifices all the time, and we're discussing sacrifices women make. We're just pretty much talking. We're not saying we shouldn't make sacrifices. We're just saying that we're bringing to the table the various sacrifices women actually make because of this thing called marriage. And is it worth it, really? Sometimes women say it's worth it, but for example, I know somebody who quit her job because she quit everything, not because her husband wanted her to, but because of her kids. She really wanted to spend that time to raise her children because she felt it was the most important thing in the world. When she now did that, unfortunately for her, the kids now grew up, became independent, and she didn't have anything to hold on to. Her husband was there doing very well, and she was just a homemaker. She didn't have anything, and she was just...
From her school of thought that, we are neglecting bringing up our children because husband is out, the wife is out. So I'm self-employed so that when I start having children, I can raise them, myself properly. But then I still have all my jobs that I'm doing.
But she didn't have that.
Yeah, but while we're discussing why women make the sacrifices women make, some men think that they do women a favor when they say marry me. Meanwhile, the woman drops her father's name. She's the one who bears the children. She's the one who's the housekeeping chores and everything fall upon. Yes. And it seems like men just take it for granted.
Yes. And they always do. Even a housewife is a full-time job.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
People get paid to be housewives.
Goodness me,
people get paid.
They work more than even those of us that are working because they're keeping up with almost every single thing, and the man expects so much more from them.
Yeah, that she's not doing anything.
There's I want fish today. I want in your tomorrow. I'm like wondering.
That she's not doing anything because she just stays at home. They think that no, she's not employed.
So let me start with Ua. So what are some sacrifices you've made or you've heard people make because of marriages?
Well, the sacrifices I made is the choice of not having paid employment. So I can be self-employed to take care of my children. I see that by the minute. I know that was the best decision I ever took because I'm able to monitor my children carefully and see how they are growing. But however, you see, like I always say, and I'll keep saying, you must know the person you're married to. Some men take advantage of the fact that you want to make certain sacrifices and they now lord it over you and they now put you under some form of slavery in the name of marriage. That one I would not tolerate from any man. I would not.
Going back to women who actually are blinded by love. Like that love blind them so much that...
I don't believe love is blind. I think love can see.
Yeah, but you see, the point I'm trying to make is that there's some women who give everything up just because of this marriage.
Well, let's draw the line, please, between slavery and submission.
Thank you.
See, as a Muslim woman, they emphasize that submission so much I thought it was slavery. I was just lucky to marry someone who sees things differently. If I ended up with the kind of husband some of my aunties had, who kept emphasizing it so much that you don't step out, you don't do this, fine, it's Islamic. But in Islam, as an housewife, I should get paid to be an housewife.
Really?
Oh, really? Yes, that is the position. I'm entitled to my earnings. I'm entitled to a business.
Really?
And my profits are my own.
Wow.
It's none of my husband's business. Fantastic. And I'm entitled to his profit as well.
Really?
Yes.
I think Islam actually caters for women.
Then you see what Nigerians do. They twist it around. They are Muslims, of course, but he's not here now. In Islam, I'm so entitled to so many things that my dowry is my business, not my father's money.
Are you for real?
And I'm entitled to what I want, not what my husband can afford.
Wow. This Islam is really interesting.
See,
I'm telling you.
No, we need to clear it because when I saw this topic yesterday, I was like, people misconstrue these things.
Yeah.
If I'm entitled to my dowry and I'm entitled to have a business and I'm entitled to have a job and earn money that is my own business, not my husband's money, why should a man now marry me in the name of submission force me, control what I earn, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
That's
Okay, well,
slavery,
yeah, let's
isn't
come
it?
to
I have a
Jumoke.
question.
Yes.
In Islam, when you build a house, is it in your name?
in fact, we don't change our names by marriage.
Oh,
Really?
Yes, we shouldn't. It is a Quranic provision that they should be called by their father's names.
Really?
If you go to the Arab countries, you find people still being, even women still be called bint, that is the daughter of this.
This person.
Your father's name.
Really?
That is why when I got married, it was a problem. Having majored in Islamic law a lot, I was telling my husband that this name thing, hey, God, I won't change it.
For me,
Interesting.
We were
It's
having
really
issues.
interesting to get the perspective of that angle. But yes, science.
for me, I was getting to that I mean, people make sacrifices, and of course you will make sacrifices, but I want to look at sacrifices I will not make. Number one, I won't drop my father's name. I will
beg
no,
you, you're not ready.
That's
no,
feminist.
no,
You're not
seriously.
ready.
See, this is because
You're not
I am
married to a
already
Yoruba man.
No, now
No,
wait.
if you marry a Yoruba man, you not say no, drop me.
Wait, now,
Why is
I
that
will
compulsory now?
not drop my father's name. Number
Why?
one, I'm already building my career on it. There is nothing wrong with saying Sandra Eze, whoever it is in the future. What's
Eze
wrong
is
with that?
just 3 letters.
Exactly.
It's just 3
It's
letters.
not
So, yeah.
even if it's
Not my own that is
20 letters
compound
wrong,
name. I am not compound name.
exactly.
I
Someone
trust
like
my
me.
husband.
and then I
Like,
will not drop my dreams.
point taken. But I'm just wondering, wait.
How do I want to join somebody's name to my
But
own
if,
name
but,
now?
but I'm
People have
telling
7
you,
names.
I'm telling you, but you need to also understand that if you marry a Yoruba man and he insists you drop your name, don't make that an issue because these things are not as dramatic as
Right.
they sound.
Right.
Hold on.
If you say you,
Morayo.
yes,
Now, this is exactly what we're talking about.
I don't want to
If
drop
you
my
marry a
name.
Yoruba
And he
man
insists.
and he insists, why must he
Why would
insist?
you
Why?
insist?
Why?
because it's your husband.
Are you not your father's daughter anymore? Because you married.
If you marry your husband,
No, are you no longer your father's daughter?
wait. Your husband is now
Can I
your
say-
husband.
can I say-
He says, listen, that your name will drop it.
Okay,
this is my
Morayo,
name. And
wait.
I have
In
paid
that-
your dowry.
Hey,
What are you
Tony,
talking about?
that argument.
I didn't
Wait,
know
wait,
it.
no,
Name
Tony, that
dropping.
argument.
You can't hear you. You can't hear anybody. You can't
Tony,
hear
that
anybody.
argument, please.
Name dropping is as a result of love and respect for your husband.
Okay, it's
not
respect.
whether you're, yes, if
To
you
keep
love your husband and you respect him enough to say, okay, now you are now my Lord, you take over his name.
He's
It's
not my
as simple
Lord
as
now.
that. He's your Lord.
He's not
your
my
husband.
Lord.
Hold on.
He's my husband, not my Lord.
Okay.
Morayo and
What's happened?
both of you on this table have said that if your husband say you should stop being on your view, you will stop it.
With immediate
And I
effect.
know that both of you love being on your view,
Yes.
but it means that you love it less than respect for your husband, as you will say. These are the kinds of sacrifices that we're saying that men will always ask of women. Will you ask your husband to leave his job for whatever reasons, and will he
You will
agree?
do it now.
Is it not love?
He's the one that is supposed
Let
to
me
be
answer
working.
our question. Let me answer our question. If I feel that my husband's job is in any way impeding on our on the growth of our marriage or the sanctity of our marriage in any way, I can ask him to resign.
And
I
will he say
will
believe,
he?
and I believe my husband will because I have that nutrition. He knows that if he tells me because he knows how much I love this program, and if he says, "Morale, that your view is exposing you too much. People know too much about you. I want you to stop." Honestly, I won't be happy. I'll stop first. Then I'll go to my God and say, "Father, please change his mind."
Yes.
Hopefully, he changes his mind and I come back.
Will
But
your
I'm not going to
husband-
say, "Nah, forget it. I'm going to go and be on your
Will
view."
your
What's that?
husband go to his own God to go and pray?
Yes,
If
he
you ask
will
him,
because I married that kind of a husband.
Thank you.
That's the kind of a husband me I
You
married.
have brought it back home. You must know who you are married to.
Simple.
It's as simple as that. I know someone
Morayo,
that listen
Anua.
that this woman has a bright, as in she has a bright star. Anything she touches turns to gold, and yet every time she tries to make a headway in her life to better herself, the man tells her to stop. To the extent of baking cake, because a boy came and said he wanted to bake cake because he was a boy that wanted a birthday cake. The man said no. You're going to stop. Schooling, he stopped her. That man is not a human being. That man should go back to the animal kingdom or he should go back to the forest. That is not a human
Now,
being.
let me
Who
tell you
are you
another example.
No, those are the
Nima,
kind-
one
those are the
second.
general kind
One
of
second.
men.
One second. Nima, let me give another example of sacrifices women make. I know somebody very close to me who married, she's educated to go into school. She married this person, and this person was not allowed to have a phone. Doesn't allow her to watch television. She only watch television when he comes back from work, and that's when because he doesn't want her to be exposed to anything on cable. That cable is
slavery.
You should put
so,
her in pool
and when,
jeje.
when she's giving him breakfast or she has to kneel down. Those kind of things. So she left everything.
That's the Lord that who I was citing now.
Glorify
No,
self-made.
no, that's it's our Lord. See, Morayo, there's a line. No. I married a husband, my partner.
Yes.
I will cook my husband's food in love. I will take care of his children with love. I will even wash his clothes with love.
Like your children,
But
yeah?
the line will now be drawn when that shirt is not properly clean. What did you even cook today? That's when I become the house girl. There's a line, no.
Why
As
can't
a
you cook it
woman,
like
I
me?
was well brought up.
Let me ask so.
No. Don't you oversalt food sometimes? You cook food and it's over peppered, over salted.
Okay, let me take this call. Adewale's call for Miriam. Good
You
morning,
are not
Adewale.
perfect now.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think what you I just said now, that kind of man is the animal. I'm sorry to say that. So while you're trying to do something, helping the family, I know that whatever the woman do is going to bring a success. And he's not happy with that woman. That kind of man is the animal. And the problem we have in this country is that, especially in Africa, we don't respect each other in marriage. We believe man is the head of the house. It's true, man is the head of the house. But you saw a lady that wanted to marry. She's a nurse. You marry her with a nurse. You know her that she's a nurse. After you get married to her, you now say you stop that work. I know that the work is her hobby. You love the job very much. And you now say you should quit that job. I think that one is not fair.
Yeah.
Whatever you know, like a man now is working in a bank. You know the bank is an hobby to the man. And after getting married, the lady now say you should quit that job. It's not fair.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adewale. I think it's that mutual respect that Adewale is talking about. Like, you must respect me. Let me give you another example of somebody I know also. Her father is very wealthy. She comes from a royal family. So she has kind of number of lands in Lagos State. This woman got married, had a child, and all her lands, she changed it to her husband's name.
Very lovely.
And everything she owned, changed to her husband's name.
Very
so
lovely.
after years, of course,
Yeah.
the man now started selling off. The
Yes,
land.
now she changed her
And
name now, so
the
she's no
woman-
longer entitled
so
to
the
inheritance.
woman now,
Abi.
even the man chased her out of all the houses, took all the documents, now
And
the
married
woman is by
another
herself.
wife.
Married, of course, married another wife.
Can I say something?
Beg, leave that.
So he's those kind of sacrifices that we need to stop women from making. You shouldn't.
Right.
What
Morayo,
you
an
inherit,
extreme sacrifice
yes,
I want to
is
cite
yours.
is this one I saw. Just a few months ago, I met a couple fighting. The man had battered this woman so much. And me with my Madam Pocknose, they don't batter me in my marriage. So what authority do I have to advise the woman? I was like, Madam, how do you do this? He said, it's not the first time he's doing it. I just keep staying because of my training. I'm sacrificing. That was the word she used. Other women were there, and before I knew it, I couldn't control myself. I just, Madam, please, escape now. You will die for here. And the other women were like, why will you look at the way you are dressed? We expect you to settle them. I said, okay, I should leave this woman because I should leave her here until the day this man, because if, in fact, on that day I saw a teeth bites on her.
Which is
Let me
another
take
crazy
Tessie's call.
thing women do.
Good morning, Tessie. Thanks for calling.
Oh, good morning. Morayo, good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
I've always wanted to be on your show.
Yes.
You guys are well dressed. Well done.
Thank you.
But what I want to say, I'm a very young lady, married, you know. When I had my son, it was same. My husband made me stay at home for more than 1 year. And in fact, it was not funny, you know, because he lost his job. It was not just easy. And now I have to think of something to do. I still come back home. I still take care of, I have 2 kids now. I take care of my children. I cook. This man is not satisfied. I still go out to hustle. When I say hustle, I go through a lot. And what I'm going through right now is hell.
Oh, wow.
Because this guy does not appreciate anything I'm doing. So please, I don't know, is there any way you guys can help women, especially the young ones that are going to marriage? Please.
When I say young, what age are we talking about when you say young? When did you get married? When did you get married?
I'm 30. I got married at 26.
26. Okay, that's a good age. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Tessie, for calling.
Right.
Yes.
I want to say something. I know they will crucify me, but you see, many times, issues of, how do I put it now? Sacrificing everything. I think it's more of women that maybe entered marriage in desperation. Because I don't see any reason why I would hand over. That is stupidity.
You are correct that I will crucify
Not
you.
necessarily desperation. See, I hear that argument because that happens sometimes.
I got married
But
at
see, one second,
26
Nima,
myself.
1 second.
So-
This Nima lady, right, for example now, she's married to somebody, she believes that Tessie, married, and it could be the fact that her husband lost his job and he's just frustrated.
Yeah.
And he's just venting a lot on her. Not necessarily because she married early or maybe in desperation. And right now, he doesn't have, because once a man loses his job, it actually affects his person, affects everything about total ego. So it's hard for him. So she also, as a woman, needs to know how to be even additionally submissive, completely and totally.
Yes.
To be able to have a sane.
Honestly, I cannot understand the situation whereby you lose your job and then your wife is working and then you ask her to resign. When do you get the money?
She resigned before
he lost
then
his
unfortunately now lost his job.
Morayo, you see,
Now
that
double
woman's
job.
example is
Yes,
so much like mine. I got married at 26. and I have a daughter, and I left my job for her for a whole year. But my husband and myself decided it, not because he insisted all the time, but because we saw the need for it.
Yes.
Do you understand?
So you're not working
In
right
fact,
now? Yeah.
No, as a lawyer, I can always remain an
Always,
associate.
yeah.
When there's a job, I do it, and then I go back
Yeah,
home to
but
my daughter.
yeah.
And that was what I started doing after she was 9 months.
Okay.
So sometimes it's necessary. These sacrifices, they are necessary, and you as a woman will see the need for it.
Yeah. All right. I think I have a call. Good morning. I'm not sure if I got the name right.
Good to see you, Mariah.
Hello, Victory. How are you, Victory?
Good to see you, Mariah.
Yes. Go ahead. Thanks.
Spending money to you who are Jimmy Sandy and Nima.
Morning.
Nima, as a counsel, I would have expected you to enlighten Sandy on the issue of provisional bail.
Okay.
Every offense is entitled to a provisional bail, except capital offenses, which includes armed robbery, murder, treason, and felony, respectively.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay.
So,
All right. Thank you very much,
it's a hot
Victory.
topic. In as much as women are meant to be the home builder, that should not make them a subject of slavery. Because marriage was supposed to be based on equity contribution for it to be successful.
Yes.
However, generally women, typically, I'm pointing out from the Quran, are supposed to be an helper because they are very sensitive and fragile. But what has made the major point? The major point is understanding the man you're
That you're
married
married to.
and
All right.
the man understanding the woman he's married.
Okay. Thank you very
That
much,
will go a long
Victory.
way.
Unfortunately, we have to move. Yes, Jumoke.
I have a question. If a man earns 150,000 per month and his wife earns 1.5 million per month, who should resign?
The man now. Is that a question?
Now, exactly. But then you find a lot of men who have
No.
issues. No, it's not even.
let
No,
her
a
finish.
lot of men have issues with their wife earning more.
More than
I've
them.
hung out on a date with several guys that I'll throw that question to, and they're like, "No, my wife cannot earn more than you. That it's not cool. That she'll leave." And I'm like, "Why? This is 21st
But
century. Why would you
sorry,
put a woman through that? That is an unnecessary
must
sacrifice.
work
You're
her
asking
And what
her
happens
to
when
do.
you meet a guy that you date now and he says it's okay, and then when you get married, he says it's not okay?
Many men are even afraid to toast
Actually,
women that earn more than them.
people, most marriages are like that. They go like this and this and this. They're all sweet and honey and sugar and everything while you're dating, and then during marriage, you see the
See,
true color.
it's not about what you earn, but one who supports your dreams. Do you understand? Someone who sees your worth, that knows where you. I'm
going.
here today because my husband thought I was good for this. Do you understand? Someone who knows where you're good at. Someone who sees you and sees what you aspire for every day.
Can I say something?
Which is why I say-
many men that subject their wives to go and start slavery in the name of marriage, they are men that have very low self-esteem. They don't have any form of confidence in themselves. Because a man that understands certain things will not allow a woman to be treated like rags. Women are meant to be stars. They are meant to glorify
nurtured.
places. You know, if a woman steps into a place, it brings glory and beauty and so much glamour in that place. So if a man now says that go and sit down, it's because the man lacks self-confidence.
Yes. All right. Let's do some tweets.
Folabi Adebakin says the biblical perspective of marriage is two shall become one, but is usually quoted out of context for selfish reasons. The same Folabi says Islamic religion caters for a lot of women's rights in marriage, but the economy
I have
cannot
to-
allow it.
I have to take this call from Spain. Titi Lola from Madrid. Good morning, Titi.
Hello, good morning.
You're calling us from Spain?
Lola, calling from Spain.
Really? Good to have you on the show.
Glad to get you online today.
Fantastic. What's going on in Spain?
Yeah, Spain is cool.
Okay.
I'm experiencing the cold weather now.
Yeah.
I just quickly want to contribute to the topic.
Yes. Go ahead.
You know, I think the major problem with Nigeria is the mentality of the men. Because the men think that they are not supposed to help their wife. Like here in Spain, we don't have any issue of house help and all that. So the men, the husbands, always help the wife. Take for example, my husband is always there to help me with the children before I take them to school. And he resumes work in the evening, so it makes it easier for him to help me before going to work. And before he comes back, I have to take care of the house, and all that. But in Nigeria, I found out that so many men will not do that.
At all.
No man would like to take care of the children before leaving the house for work.
His mother won't allow him.
I'm sorry?
I think
His mother won't allow him.
their mentality.
And then
Thank you so much, Titi Lola.
I'm
Really
sorry,
appreciate
and
your
then
call.
sorry
to
his
disagree
friends
with
will
Titi
say-
Lola. I have the best
Husband.
husband any woman you need to have, because
We know he's proud of you
we
saying that.
understand mutual respect, responsibility as well. And you see, this is the issue that has made a lot of children, they stay distant from their parents. They now start, from their fathers. They now say, no, children are closer to their mothers than their father. It's because the father did not get involved in grooming. My husband baits my children. He takes care of them. While he's bathing them, I'm in the kitchen preparing breakfast. While when they finish, their clothes are ready, he dresses them up. We do it together.
All right. There are different strokes for different folks. Because my own husband, wait 1 second. My own husband has never seen the diaper before. And I have background on the matter. In fact, he doesn't even know what the diaper looks like, because the other day, I don't think I've ever even tried. On Sunday, for the first time ever, I told him, you're going to bath, you're going to brush your teeth, you're going to bath. And I was like, huh?
We sound like punishing.
You know, he didn't get it, but I left them alone in the house on Sunday, and I went to church for second service. And I came back, and the girl was dressed, and they were playing together. I didn't want to know if you brushed it to Elu, you bath to Elu. I don't even want to know. But the thing is that every woman, there are different marriages. Now, my own husband, as I said, has never even, I don't think he's ever seen a diaper before. So, if your husband doesn't do that, doesn't make him a bad person.
Let me establish what I'm trying to say. Many times, women are the ones that make men to, because naturally, it is not in them to want to change diapers or want to bathe their children. But you see, as a woman, you must encourage your husband to be involved.
We'll come to you. Let's go to Otumba Martins from Magodo. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. How are you today?
Very well. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, nice for the topic. It's very interesting. But Mariah said, our understanding is the watchword of marriage. You need to really understand your spouse very well. Once you want every that will follow in sequential order. But I will put Sandra, as a Yoruba man, if you marry a Yoruba man, there are some things you need to do, even in the Bible, even in the Quran. That is pertinent for you to change your maiden name. You can't have two compound names in your name. But that one still calls with the same understanding. You need to understand your husband. It is only man says it's a must. You will love and understand what you to sing to do it. And for men that think that their husband is more than them, I think stupidity.
Oh, well,
my wife is more than me. I think it's another advantage on the family. So, like the guy in the video, the one beside the Lion said that all men that do that have low esteem.
All right, thank you very much,
Otumba. It's not all men that think their wife is a slave.
Yes.
Women are proper to be cherished and loved and take good care of.
Thank you very much, Otumba. Really appreciate your call. That name change thing. Don't try it, my husband.
Moraya, please.
Don't try it, my husband.
Jumoke mentioned something
Let's
now.
get some tweets. Let's get some tweets from Jumoke.
There's for Jobi Oluwabusola, a woman saying, Sandra, stop saying you can't drop your father's name. It's not proper, and also we just have to make the right sacrifices. Tade says it's a gradual process. Change from the norm of our fathers is not going to be drastic, but yeah, men are changing right now.
All right, we're going to take a quick break because we have City Paul went around town asking people the kind of sacrifices they made in marriage. Look at this.
You have to make some sacrifice. If you have some friends that you know they will not do well, they will affect your marriage negatively. You know, you have to cut down on those friends. And also as a woman, you know, women, we are so much attached to our family and our friends also. So the two of them have to make sacrifices. But I think women make more sacrifices in marriage than guys. It's worth it.
If you ask me, is the sacrifice worth it? It is worth it. Why? Because number one, you are having a name. The man is actually giving you a name. Initially, you had no name. The man is giving you a name, which is worth it. He's making you a responsible person, even though the two of you are making yourselves responsible. But then the very moment you are married, you become a responsible person. You live that single life alone. You live the things that you do as a single woman alone. Because you want a name, you want a family, and you want to become responsible in life.
A lot of us have certain habits we've picked up while we're still single that we definitely can't take into our matrimonial home. Like keeping friends, partying, and the rest of it. It doesn't, it's not befitting for a married woman. It's not, that's not to say you don't keep friends.
One thing I picked up, friends. Does anybody on this table have to sacrifice leaving your friends for your marriage?
No.
Well, I am not married yet, but I know a couple of my friends who got married. I'm not a bad girl, but then they got married and suddenly it's like the friendship is slashed.
Yeah, you're not married.
Yeah, it happens.
Why? Why? I mean,
when
I'm
I
not
no longer
coming
have
to steal
common
your
issues,
husband.
common
Why do
interests.
I have to lose my friend because you got married? Anyway, I have a problem with the man that said that before you get married, as a woman, you don't have a name and you're not responsible.
You're nameless.
What? Who said that? How is that? How see, there is nothing wrong with me retaining my name, Sandra Eze. Plus Jumoke, I won't marry you, sir. But or whatever.
Years, if you do.
No, see, there is nothing wrong with that. We should learn to accept it. For starters, I am building my career on my name.
Point taken. So somebody like
and I will sacrifice my
what's that
dreams
woman's
too.
name? Joke Jacob.
Is she not still Joke Silva till tomorrow?
Till next year.
That's why you must Sanzi, if you meet someone and you are falling head over heels for the person, so if the man now decides to say, Sanzi, change your name because of that, the love will just die.
He should accept something. He should accept me for who I am and for my beliefs.
I think the key thing we've heard so far depends on the person you marry.
Thank you.
If you marry somebody who is willing to say, you know what, take your name, it's okay, fine. But if you have a man that says, I want you to wear, you have to have my name. I don't feel comfortable with you going with your name.
He's not your
husband.
I think
out of respect,
he's not
your husband, you should drop your name.
My husband agreed before marriage that I'll keep my name.
Yes.
He agreed. I showed him the Quran and I said, this is why. And he said it's okay. And after we got married, he went inside and did friend's pause. I was like, let me use this city pause. And then he came back and said, you have to change your name. I'm the man in this house. I said, well, man, this is the Quranic provision and I'm not going to change my name. We battled it, and when we got to the embassy, I had to compound it.
Which embassy? Okay,
it was international passport that forced me to put his name. That's why Akashat is my name, my surname. Zibiri is his own, and that is how it's compounded.
I have to take a commercial break. When we come back, Jumoke, you'll be silent. We're going to focus on Jumoke's thoughts on this.
I have something to say for Jumoke.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.